I was born and raised in Pasadena. Growing up in Pasadena, Altadena, it was cool. It was families, it was friends, it was very nice environment. I love being in Pasadena. I've continued to stay in Pasadena. So it was always an environment that was peaceful and fun-loving, and I really enjoyed it. I attended John Marshall Fundamental and I attended Pasadena Christian School, and then I went on to John Muir High School. I went to Spelman College in Atlanta, Georgia, and I got my degree in psychology. I'm currently, I guess you'd have to have some kind of creativity with this, but currently I'm a commissioner for the city of Pasadena. I am on the commission on the status of women for the city. And I've been on the commission for a little over a year, and they give you like 2-year terms. And it's been an enjoyable and interesting job that I've had over this past year and a half, and I hope that I get an opportunity to continue to serve the community in this capacity. We basically advise the City Council on the concerns and the needs of women and girls in the city of Pasadena. And recently, in March of this year, we presented a report, the 2015 report on the status of women in the city of Pasadena. And we dealt with topics such as employment and earnings, homelessness, domestic violence, and even the issue of human trafficking, which I didn't even know really existed in the city. But that was very, interesting and important, and it's something that I definitely have grown to have a passion about, and I really want to help the young women and just women and girls of all races. I was nominated by, they are appointed by Councilman John Kennedy. He is the council person for District 3. And so I guess they see people who have been in the community, and they definitely say, okay, is this a candidate that could be good? They present you to the city council, and they nominate as to whether or not you would be somebody they were interested in having served. As a commissioner, what we try and do is our first thing is to find out what's going on. What are the needs and the concerns of women and girls in the city? And as we find out that information, we advise the council as to what's happening in the city. So it's kind of like we act as a liaison between the community and the council. Okay. So they are aware of the issues that need to be addressed. And so, what we try, we work with different agencies to gather the information. Like again, I said the Mount St. Mary's University that had that information. It made it definitely easier for us to say, okay, where do we go from here? Here are some of the situations that exist. Via the statistics that they have provided for us, where do we go from here? Because it's imperative that you know what problems exist. You can't solve anything if you don't first know that here's a problem in this particular area, and say, how do we handle it? Where do we go from here? So, human trafficking is something that is kind of a new issue. They are still doing studies and findings to see how it affects the city of Pasadena, but it is an issue that I didn't even know existed. When I found, it was through working on the commission that I even heard about that, and I was like, this is something that definitely we need to present to the commission, to the city, so they can be aware of what's actually going on in their city. I had no idea that, young girls were involved in human trafficking in cities around Pasadena, as well. There is to a degree here in the city, but they are, again, still researching that and trying to see what's happening in our city. So. Well, I guess when I was approached by, again, Councilman Kennedy, I hadn't, as a woman, I was always doing things. I wrote a book, actually a chapbook years ago, called She Rose, Sugar Mama, Sister, Girlfriends, and Me. There's always I've always had an interest in, the issues of women, being an African-American woman, and trying to exist in the society. How do I maneuver? So when he came to me with this, I was like, this is a good opportunity for me to at least see where I can be of assistance as a woman, not only as a woman, but as an African American woman. There are issues that affect African American women that are important to me, but yet and still I deal with the collective, just women in general. But as an African American woman, that was kind of like the catalyst for me to say, you know what? I want to see how I can help and make a difference. It is a volunteer service once you're nominated and appointed. So it is you giving up your time. But if they feel that you've been a viable, helpful entity or individual in this process, then yes, you can serve 2 consecutive terms. Where do I see myself going from here? Well, definitely I'm going to complete my term, definitely in the commission. And if I can, serve another term, that would be excellent. I definitely want to continue to see where I can be of service to women in the city, bringing issues to light, and seeing how we can, resolve some of these issues. I definitely want to continue in the creative process with my company, Soul Link Productions, to put out things that have a focus on women. I'm not Miss Feminist here, but I definitely want to see that women have opportunities that they may not have had before, or just open doors that can be, that are right now closed or not completely open. So my goal is to just equality and helping, women have better opportunities. I think, unfortunately, the old adage of the crab in a barrel, and we need to support each other. We need to, and in order to support each other, we need to know what we're doing, and not come with these preconceived notions of, he has hers, she has his, she has hers, he has his, I'm gonna get mine. We have to say, okay, what are you doing? What are you doing? How can we support, one another in our efforts to move forward? So, it might have been a roundabout answer, but
no,
it's important. Education, support, knowledge, and these are things that'll help bring about a tighter community. I think what created the Nichelle Holliday, the person that I am today, definitely my family, our spiritual, our belief in God. My family, I came from a family of educators. Both my parents were educators. My father was in the elementary system. My mother also, she went to teach and went from there to go into the administrative, becoming a principal and working in an administrative capacity. But my family, my grandmother, she was a woman who didn't, get a formal education. She went as high as, I think, the 6th grade. But her, she was wise beyond her years, and just watching how my family interacted together, watching how they supported each other, how they loved each other, and how they said, okay, it's important for us to get, an education to acquire the knowledge we need so we can be useful where we are. So I think the base was my family, definitely. I currently work with the Bakewell Company, and they own the Los Angeles Sentinel and the LA Watts Times newspaper. And I've been with them for about 9 years. I'm not writing as much as I'm an executive assistant, and so a lot of my energy and effort is in the administrative side of but I do have opportunities to write. I am actually currently working towards completing my own novel because I'm at UCLA in their writers program. Okay. And that, my passion, my creativity is still underlying, it's still there, and I still want to do things. But yeah, they do give me opportunities to write when I can, to contribute to the paper.